state and local governments. That's something that we're not going to do to bail out those states that had financial issues. But there's definitely areas of agreement. Things like the PPP, I think there's enormous bipartisan support. Things about checks in the mail, I think there's enormous bipartisan results. So Mark Meadows and I will be back there every day until we reach an agreement. We understand there's a need to compromise, but on the other hand, there's also a big need to get kids into school, get people back to jobs, and keep the economy open and keep people safe.
You know, Speaker Pelosi said the Republican offer was $200, not the $600 people have been receiving. That's a huge cut for people with mortgages and rent payments and trying to feed their families.
Well, there was a $600 offer for 1 week. I'm not going to make public comments, but Mark Meadows and I have made 3 or 4 different offers that deal with the enhanced unemployment. I think, as you said, Steny Hoyer and others understand that unemployment is supposed to be wage replacement, so it should be tied to some percentage of wages. The fact that we had a flat number was only an issue of an emergency where we had 30-year-old computer systems. So I think on the concept, we absolutely agree on enhanced unemployment. We want to fix the issue where in some cases people are overpaid, and we want to make sure there's the right incentives. But again, let me just emphasize, we put on the table a proposal. Let's extend it for 1 week at the same rate while we negotiate so we don't hurt the American public.
So you do think it is a disincentive to find a job if you have that extra $600?
There's no question in certain cases where we're paying people more to work, stay home than to work, that's created issues in the entire economy. But let me just say, you have to look at all these things. I want to interrupt
you there for just 1 second. It's not all the evidence. A Yale study from this month refutes that, saying many economists who have studied the benefits said that so far they don't see any evidence in labor market data that the payments are affecting the rate at which people are returning to work during the pandemic.
Well, let me just say I went to Yale. I agree on certain things. I don't always agree. There's a Chicago study that goes through all the people that are overpaid. But let's just face it. We know factually, okay, there are cases where people are overpaid. There are cases where people are underpaid. The issue is we need to come up with an agreement to extend this. We need to get kids into school. And we're going to work every day until we reach a reasonable agreement that's good for the American public.
The GDP saw its largest contraction in modern history this week, wiping out the past 5 years of economic growth. What do you think